Hello, welcome. Well, if you've got a pressure washer and it's water's pouring out of the trigger unit or the pistol grip or whatever you like to call it, the wand, the likelihood is it's leaking inside obviously, but the likelihood is it's frozen at some point, got really, really cold, and the water inside's expanded and it's split the actual unit. Well, I tried to fix this in a previous video, and sadly it didn't work. I tried welding it with solenoid and I filled it and done all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff to it, and it didn't work. It still would come out all over the place, and all it did was run out the bottom of the gun. So I succumbed and I bought a new one, which, couldn't find it. There it is. It's this little unit here. That bit's got nothing to do with the problem. It's this part here, which is the valve. That pushes down, releases the water from the hose out to the jet thingy, you know, your nozzle, the high pressure bit. And what's happening is what happened was it's water. I left the thing outside, like an idiot. I left the water in it, and it obviously froze and expanded and caused a very fine hairline crack at this point here. But I bought a new one, and it was only about €15, so about 15 squids. Now, it's a very similar thing to what you find inside the Karcher. So, if the Karcher or any of the other pressure washers come to that matter have the same sort of problem, the likelihood is frozen. But they're really easy fix. Really, really, really easy. A few screws and you're done it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring you down here and we're going to take the screws out of this one and we're going to put that in its place. Done. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Here we are. We have it. We have it here. Okay, so I've got a battery screwdriver. You could also use a manual one. There's no reason why not. But what we're going to do, anyhow, we're going to take all the screws out. So it's not difficult. You can use your manual screwdriver and stick it in there and turn it around and, you know, anti-clockwise, obviously, and remove all the screws. So there's one. Now, it's quite a good idea to have a magnetic dish or just a magnet so you can attach all these screws to it. They sort of start wandering off down the bench, end up on the floor and all your sawdust, in my case. Hence, I'm a woodworker. Now, I'm going to use a battery job because it's quicker. So make sure it's anti-clockwise first. You plug it in your thing and whack all the screws out without... Well, that wasn't supposed to do that. It just broke. Well, that's when I got repaired earlier. Or later. Alright, so we're going to take all the screws out. As you can see, it's a very easy job. This is really annoying. I'll have to hold it. It's a Phillips screw, so don't use a posi drive. A posi drive is not going to fit in the head of a Phillips screw properly. And how you tell is if you look at your screwdriver, look at your screws, a posi drive has an extra little... another little point to it here, another little wing in between the four wings that are there already, and also the wings are wider. They're quite a little bit fatter at this point. Oh, hello Dora. Oh, my doggy's come to see me. Hello Dora. Oh, she likes her bum rubbed. There we go. Oh, how's that? Oh, so good, isn't it? So good. There we go. I digress. Now, I think that's all the screws are out now. So we'll make sure we don't lose them. So put them put them somewhere where we can keep them safe. In this case, I'm just going to put them over here. I don't have a magnetic tray to hand, or I've got one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So you remove the actual, well, they split apart like clamshell, and then you get left with this unit inside here. Now as you can see how I've tried to bodge it up and repair it, and it didn't work. This part is still okay, that's not a problem. So if that part fails on that one, I can use that as a spare. The likelihood is that ain't going to be a problem. So all we have to do is to replace this unit, we just literally put it in its place, and it can only go one way, so it's quite easy. We lay that in there and push that down so it's actually sitting in there nice and snug, like so. And then we place the trigger. You can do it the other way around if you want. You can put it in this part first if you want. Okay, if that handle drops out like it did just then, you can do it the other way around. So I'm going to put that on there like that and make sure that works. It does. There's like a little piece here, little plastic spring goes into a slot on the back here. So you make sure that's okay. And then you've got these buttons at the bottom here as well. So you plonk them back in. That's the trigger lock. So we'll plonk this back on top of here, or place it back on top of here like so. Make sure it all goes together swimmingly well. And it all gets trapped nicely all the way round. The trigger's still working, which is good. And the button still works. Yep, the lock, that's good. Life's a good one. There you go. Perfect. So that's locked out, and that's unlocked. So all that happens is when you pull that trigger in, it pushes down onto the top of this valve and opens the valve. And now what we've got to do now is plonk all the screws back in. How easy? How easy is that? It's, you know, instead of going out and buying yourself a new wand, which will cost you 30, 40 squids, get yourself the inners, but it'll cost you half of that. Now I just paid €15 for it in France, and I'm sure other places might even be cheaper than that, and especially obviously if you want to wait a little while, you get it on AliExpress and all those sort of places, shouldn't be a problem. But if I can find a link for it, I'll put a link below for this one, but also maybe some Karcher equivalents, because the principle's the same. There's varying degrees of quality. Now, it wasn't a problem because of wear and tear, it was a problem because I left it outside in the winter. So I left it somewhere, actually it wasn't actually directly outside, it was basically somewhere that it still got really cold and froze. Now if you use the battery screwdriver, be very careful you don't be overzealous, because you'll rip all the plastic threads out of the trigger itself, and then it'll be no good. You'll have to put bolts through or something. So I've put all the screws back in there. That's it. All good. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Anyway, that's how you change your valve in your LAVOR pressure washer, or it could be even the Karcher for the trigger grip if you've left it out and it's frozen. Or it might just start leaking anyway, or there's a problem with the gaskets and stuff, I don't know, O-rings. There is O-rings in them, so bear that in mind. So that's another possible reason why it could be leaking, is if your hose, the end of it, has a little O-ring on it. That little O-ring, like a little rubber ring, it can get cracks or spill, or even fall off completely, and then obviously it's not going to seal, and that's also going to leak. But that's a different issue. But anyway, hey, watch it, post card, give us a like and subscribe, and maybe the little bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket, and that'll be me uploading another video. Anyway, thanks for watching.